the Lakers traded Russell Westbrook. Um, it was almost like a relief on both sides. The expectation for Russell Westbrook to come. First of all, the expectation for Russell Westbrook may have been higher than the expectation from LeBron James since he's been on the Lakers. Um, Not his whole career, but the expectation of Russell Westbrook was if you go 7 for 12, have a triple double and 0 turnovers, and you lose, Russell Westbrook is the problem. Russell Westbrook can have his best game, and he'll always be criticized. He'll always be looked at as a person, the reason why they weren't successful or why they failed, and that's a big thing of why when he left, it was I think he's in a better place. Rob Pelinka said something interesting, and I think that Rob Pelinka is starting to realize because his job is being overshadowed by LeBron James. LeBron James does his spot with I'm not sure what this is, Michael Wilbon, I think, not too long ago, and he talks about if you see a guy like that, how upset he was he didn't get the guy. LeBron James throws subliminal shots at people around him rather than coming out and saying it. That's probably the only one of the few reps I have with LeBron James. He's checked out this season. He doesn't really care to play anymore. I think that he achieved what he needed to achieve this year, and then he'll figure that out as far as playing with his son. But Rob Pelinka said something interesting. He said, our aspirations when we did the Westbrook trade was it to lead to a championship, a contending team. We didn't meet that goal, so you have to look to pivot if something is not working to correct it. I think this trade deadline, there was an opportunity there. I think it's really unfair to put the last year and a half or whatever period of time that is on one player. I think the whole roster has come together and fit. Has to come together and fit. And part of sports sometimes is if things aren't working, you have to fix them. I think the Russell Westbrook was fine in the roster. I think that there should have been more team continuity to support him. I don't think he got support with LeBron James. LeBron James is probably upset because his son looks up to him. But I really feel that LeBron James did not support Russell Westbrook. And then he may have outwardly said that sometimes, but he never did that in the locker room. And when it didn't go well, he probably went behind his back to leadership to say, hey, look, I want Russ gone. Russell Westbrook should not have been coming off the bench. If you want to talk about a fit, don't have him on the bench. If you look at the last couple of games, the Lakers played, they weren't necessarily doing bad. If you look at the last couple of games they played, they were trending upwards. LeBron James hasn't been healthy. If you talk about availability from a player standpoint, this year, LeBron James has played 44 games. Russell Westbrook played 52 games. Russell Westbrook is the only player on the roster that has played. Russell Westbrook was a player on the roster that's played the most game, and he hasn't played for them for 2 games. So Russell Westbrook was available. He was the only person that was available. Anthony Davis, 33 games. LeBron James, 44 games. There's no player, and this is Russell Westbrook's gone. There's no player that is going to play more games than Russell Westbrook, until after next game. So Russell Westbrook is simply, I hate to say it, he was the player that was most available. He was in the games. He played every, 1 or 2 games I think he didn't play. He averaged 16 points, 7 assists, and 6 boards coming off the bench. Not only that, he had 1 steal, and then he played defense solid down the line. This myth of, you think, Russell Westbrook turns the ball over a lot. LeBron James assisted turnover ratio 2.2. Russell Westbrook 2.1. D'Angelo Russell 2.0. So if you look at it, you're not losing necessarily a player. A player that you're losing a player that really was the staple of your team. You trade away Thomas Bryant, who was a good backup for Anthony Davis, who can't stay healthy, and I think Pelinka, he understood it, but he can't say that because he's stuck between the legacy of LeBron James and saying, hey, LeBron. If he would have came out and said, hey, yeah, we thought he'd work well with LeBron, but LeBron has to have his support, and LeBron didn't have the support from LeBron. I guarantee those conversations behind the back were, hey, we have to get Russ out of here, but then in the media he's saying one thing. And you don't have to even go to the media to see it. On the court, LeBron James didn't have support for Russell Westbrook. And you can see it by them not high fiving each other after free throws. Them not LeBron not helping, and LeBron doesn't help anybody up, but making an effort to help him up. But right now, LeBron doesn't care about winning a championship. He reached the pinnacle of his career right now, scoring points. Now the next step is to say, okay, how do I play with my son? And I guarantee this foot injury for him, he's going to take his time to come back. He'll play during the All-Star game, right? He may play one game before coming back, but he'll do all the All-Star festivities, and then after that, after the All-Star game, maybe 1 or 2 games, then rest his foot. I think that LeBron James has given LA more than he needs to give them. Do I think LA will retain him to sell tickets? They might. They might keep him. His family is making a good living out in L.A. I'm pretty sure it's nice to be out there. But of course, wherever they go, wherever Bronny goes, and I think the Lakers will do what they can to get Bronny. They may give up more because they know that, if I don't think LeBron James is going to play in a fair level of basketball, but he won't be the focus point on the offense. I think down the line, he'll have to take more of a point guard role, more of a veteran point guard role where he's handling the ball. He's running sets, and he's not slashing, cutting, running back and forth. You may see glimpses of that, but his game's going to slowly decline as you get older. It's science, right? We're battling that. So this was the base that LeBron James set around him, and if anybody, a true leader like Westbrook is on a team, you're gonna rule him out. But LeBron needs people around him to just, I hate to say it, he needs people around him to just sulk in his presence, and that's not who Russell Westbrook is. He didn't do it with KD, and he's not going to do it with LeBron. So didn't do it with Harden. Russell Westbrook is a top player in this league, and for him to kind of sulk and just kind of sit and say, oh, LeBron James, that's not part of his DNA. I think Pelinka knows it. I think that's why he said that.